Hey guys, welcome to Fintech Fridays on the Sound of Accra Podcast. It's been a while since we've done one of these actually, but this is actually the first video Fintech Friday that I'm doing, and it's been an interesting day. So this is the breaking news from earlier today, and it's Jack Dorsey's block cuts thousands of jobs as it embraces AI. And this is massive. I mean, when you think the job layoffs and the job economy has been tough enough, this is what happens. And we've already had a lot of headlines surrounding AI, kickoff 2026, and I feel like there's going to be a lot more in the pipeline yet to come. But let's go straight into the breaking news. I'm not going to spend too much time on this episode. And here we go. BBC says Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey says his technology firm Block is laying off almost half of its workforce because artificial intelligence fundamentally changes what it means to build and run a company. And this is the key thing here that Jack says. He says, within the next year, I believe the majority of companies will reach the same conclusion and make similar structural changes. He wrote in his letter to shareholders. Of course, Block is a public company, as you guys may or may not know. So for those of you who don't know what Block is, so Block essentially is a fintech group owned by Jack Dorsey, okay, who was the previous owner of Twitter, of course, sold it to Elon Musk. With Block, if you know companies such as Square, companies such as Cash App, which is a bit like PayPal, and then Tidal, which is the high definition streaming platform that Jay-Z is also a partner of. These are all companies that fall under Block, which is a huge fintech group, okay? Now, if anyone knows anything about Jack Dorsey, first and foremost, he is bullish when it comes to technology. He loves technology and he believes it's definitely linked to the future, and he's massive on financial inclusion. And this is not the first time I've actually spoken about Jack Dorsey on the Sound of Accra podcast. For those of you who are avid listeners, you may remember the first ever pod bite that I did maybe in 2021. I spoke about Jack Dorsey setting up a Twitter HQ in Ghana for Africa. So Twitter's HQ for Africa was in Ghana previously. I believe that's shut down. And also over the years, Jack Dorsey came down to countries like Ghana for the for the yearly Africa Bitcoin conference. And of course, this is going back as far as 2022, as you can see now on the screen. He came down to a few of those Bitcoin conferences, and of course he was a big part of it. We've had guests that I've had in the show, such as Eric Anand, from Aya. He's been on, he's been to the Bitcoin conference and he's met Jack Dorsey himself in Accra. So he's a big deal. Speaking of Eric, actually, he actually put this out today as well. So if I show this to you guys, he says, Blocks (Square) with a tweet, 4,000 gone. So that's the amount of people that have left Block or been laid off because of AI. Hear me, AI is not doom. It's just what we're faced with today. To you, my dear African young people and dreamers, build your company, start that little startup today, solve problems that add value that AI can't keep up. And then he goes on to say, all my life and journey of Accurate Collective, local content, supporting builders. I've not just talked about it, I've put in the commitment. And he goes on to, I think, say a few words from his new book, The Power of Thought. So that's a free plug for you, Eric, if you're listening. But yeah, this is quite interesting what Eric has said. And this brings me to the point that I actually want to hammer home today. And that point is, I believe Africa, is going to thrive with AI, and not decline because of AI, right? And I think Jack Dorsey's announcement is massive news for Africa. And I'm going to explain really quickly why this is huge news, all right? Now, reason why this is going to be huge news. Now, if we look at this article that I'm seeing on LinkedIn, will Gen AI take jumps? So Gen AI is generative AI. So that's like ChatGPT, etc. And it says how AI will reshape Africa's workforce. Now, when you go on to read this article, these are key findings on AI's job impact, and these are things that you may be aware of, and things that I'm already aware of. So things like, AI will affect almost every sector. That's true. High skilled jobs aren't safe. That even lawyers and engineers will use AI tools. That's true. New jobs will emerge, especially in AI oversight and customization. That's true. Africa's labor market will adapt differently. Local solutions are needed. That's true. So having said that, there is a lot of opportunity for people to, take advantage of AI in this new, era that we're moving into. And you can see in this article, there's so many jobs that are affected, from content creation, graphic design. Almost every platform or software out there has some form of AI built into it. But the least exposed, you're looking at doctors, nurses, plumbers, electricians, strategic marketers, storytellers, etc. So these are the human-centric roles which AI probably will never be able to replicate or take away, because it's part of what makes us human. It will rather reshape those types of jobs. And reason why I believe AI is going to help Africa rather than take away from Africa, or even, lay off people in countries like Ghana, is that AI is going to help to create more startups as a result. With more startups being created because of AI, more jobs are going to be created as a result, because there's so many problems in not just Africa, even in Ghana, that need to be solved. All right. If we look at this article from Vanguard, it says, this was just after Christmas last year, and this says, the future of AI in Africa: will AI create more jobs or take them away? It says, artificial intelligence has enormous potential and challenges in Africa. AI is known for driving productivity, generating innovation, and unveiling new markets. While AI creates new employment, just what I said earlier on, it also displaces existing jobs across various sectors. Okay. The most vulnerable sector affected by automation relies strongly on human labor. And it goes on to say, the future of AI in Africa will be shaped by the response of all the stakeholders to convert the possibility of job loss into an opportunity for digital and inclusive growth. All right. So as you read this article, there's a few case studies of how AI has created opportunities, but also how it's a threat. But the reason why AI is going to be massive for Africa is because the internet penetration is even better. You've got mobile innovations better, more market demand for electronic solutions as well. AI is developed, various fields such as agriculture. It's helped various fields in the country and across Africa as well. And then also, as you can see here, top solution providers are countries like South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, Egypt. I don't see why Ghana should be on that list, which have many AI-related startups and research institutions. So this just shows you that AI can create lots of jobs through creating lots of startups and lots of organizations as a result. Okay, so it may not necessarily create job roles directly, but indirectly is going to create job roles by creating the startups and the research institutions and other types of organizations, which is what I believe as well. All right. And I think also the other types of roles that AI is going to create is more specialist roles. So you got, as you can see, AI has developed new industries across Africa, especially in Fintech, agri-tech, and health tech, creating demand for specialists, analysts, and developers as well. Okay, so I believe AI is going to create lots of different new types of jobs. So even though it may take away some jobs, it's going to replace it with new types of jobs, because new people need to be able to, operate the AI and apply the AI in different ways as well. And as you can see here, AI has helped create thousands of jobs at this level. You guys can read this article for yourself. I'll leave it in the links below. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, following today's headline. Do you think AI is going to create more opportunities and jobs in Africa, or is it going to take away more jobs and more opportunities from Africa? I'm on the side of for rather than against, but let me know what you guys think. Everyone's welcome to their opinion. Feel free to head over to our website, thesoundofacra.com. More than welcome to leave us a review on thesoundofacra.com. You can send us a voice note on there. Otherwise, feel free to also drop us an email, info@thesoundofacra.com. Let me know what you think from today's episode, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for you guys for listening. Take care.